Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's studio vlog, I got a little bit of store prep to do. If you saw my previous vlog, you may know that I received a bunch of new products from Vograce, so I need to do some preparation with those. But yeah, a bunch of new products that I need to prepare. I need to add my branding and some labels and stuff like that. Just figure out how I want to package certain things. So I guess that will be the main focus for this video, and of course some other things too. And also, when you're watching this, the shop is already open, so I would be super happy if you would like to check it out. I have also opened up for pet portrait commissions. So yeah, as usual, it will be a little bit of everything. So let me give you a little update on what I'm currently working on. So yeah, here we have little pins and magnets in the making, and these are basically done. I just need to add some more details and their little faces, and also glaze them with matte varnish. These are the wooden pieces that I showed you in my last vlog. I had this custom ordered from an Etsy shop. Usually I make all my pins and magnets out of clay. Having them pre-made out of wood, it just makes it a little more time efficient, so I can spend more energy on the actual paint job. So all of these I painted yesterday, and also these guys I made a base coat for those. These ones and these I had already painted a long time ago, but I never ended up finishing them, so I thought, why not finish them now and add them to this shop update. But as you can see, I have just left them as they are, and I'm pretty sure I will not finish them for this shop update, because as I said, I spent almost all day yesterday painting these, and then this morning I woke up with the worst neck pain ever. It just feels like my neck and shoulder is broken, which I was kind of expecting after painting all day. I'm just gonna finish these up and be done with it for this time. I have plenty of other products to add to my shop anyway. I just want to have something handmade at least. Will this container be enough to store all the washi tape in? We will see. All the washi tape came neatly packaged in these rolls, but I feel like it is much easier to just grab them from a container, so there we go. Then I got 3 more rolls that I can just store in the storage. I haven't really figured out what I want to do with the lanyards. I will keep them in the plastic bags, but I don't know if I want to add something more to them, like a label, or maybe put a card or something on the inside, like a so. And I could just print and cut out these rectangular cards with all my information on it. I don't know if it is necessary, since I always put a thank you card with all my information on it inside the box with the order. So I'm thinking maybe I should just leave them as they are. Yeah, something like that. Then we have the binder clip that comes all mixed together in this bag, so I will need to sort them. So I've been thinking about how I want to package these. I mean, they comes in these very nice compostable plastic bags, but it isn't very cute, and it doesn't have to be cute really, but I just feel like when packing an order, it just feels much nicer sending off something that looks nice. And also I would like to add my branding somewhere, so I've been testing some different packing options. For this one, I put the binder clip in a cellophane bag with a backing card, and I would of course make a backing card that would go along with the cat and the design. But then I thought, is this a little too much? So I just tried a cellophane bag without the card. But if I'm just gonna put it in a clear cellophane bag, then I can just keep it in these bags that are actually compostable. Then we're back to the problem. It doesn't look very pretty, but then I actually got another idea that I can just make little labels and put on the outside of the bag. So I would just print them and cut them with my Silhouette cutter. So that wouldn't be a lot of work, but I would still add something to make the bags look a little prettier and add my brand on there. And here I can also add the information that you need to peel off the protective plastic film, because I am not gonna do that myself for all of these. So you will have to do that yourself, but it is very satisfying, so I know that some people will enjoy that, because if you don't peel off the protective film, you can see the surface looks very matte and a little scratch, and you can even see some bubbles here, and I don't want people to think that the product is faulty, so I need to add information somewhere that you need to peel off this protective film. So yeah, I'm just gonna add the labels on the outside of these bags. So I printed a test label like this. It isn't perfect, and I feel like if I'm gonna do more binder clips in the future, I will come up with some different packaging, but it will do for now. I will also need to package the Witch Hat Kitty keychain, and I'm thinking something like this, and it is the same backing card as for the enamel pin. I think I mentioned in a previous vlog that I ordered way too many of this backing card. It was a lot more than the enamel pins that I got, but I had totally forgot that I was going to use them for the keychain too, so I guess I ordered just the perfect amount. Yeah, I will need to package all the keychains. The front side is covered in resin, so it is very rounded and smooth, but the other side is completely flat, which is covered with a protective film. So for other acrylic keychains that I've been selling, I just added a little note. I still have a few of these notes left, so I figured I would just add one of the notes to the back of the backing card, like so. Yeah, I think that will be good. So let's package some keychains. So here they are, my little kitties, painted and done. And I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do for the back side. I was thinking if I should paint them white for the white ones and black for the black kitties. And I also thought maybe I can just leave it like it is with this wooden surface, no paint or anything. But what I like to do with my handmade pins and magnets is that I like to sign them on the back side. But I wasn't really sure how that would look on the raw wood, so I did a little test here, and this is just raw wood without any varnish or anything, and I tried using the pen that I normally used, like an alcohol based fine liner, but as you can see it spread out in the fibers of the wood. I also tried a fine tip paint marker, but the same thing happened here and the paint spread out, so I figured I would just use the same matte varnish as I use on the painted side on the back side too, and this is what it looks like. Only problem that I noticed with this method is that the varnish is water-based, so the fiber of the wood started to rise up a bit, so I noticed that the surface became a little rougher. It isn't super bad, but if you want to buy this as a pin and wear it on your clothes, I don't want the surface of the pin to damage the clothing, but that could easily be solved by using a nail file. And don't worry, this file has only been used for crafting projects. Yeah, using the nail file I can just smooth out the surface, and I'm just sanding it very lightly just to remove the fibers that's standing out. Yeah, now it feels smooth again. And I'm not sure if I finished my explanation why I added varnish to the backside, but you probably figured it out. But I added the varnish to act like a barrier so that the ink or paint wouldn't spread out in the fibers, and I really hope that it will work because I haven't tested it, but we will find out. And I think this very light sanding, it shouldn't remove any of the varnish. Hopefully it has been soaking into the wood grains. Alright, so let's do a little test. yes, it is working. You can compare it to the one without the varnish. And I realized that I signed this with 23, but that is just how it is in the beginning of the year. It takes a little time getting used to writing the new year. I also add Katvalk to the back because I think some people are more familiar with my my business name, my username. Well, it looks like all the seats are taken. So I printed and cut the labels for the binder clips, and I only did a very light cut, so I can just peel it off like this. This sticker paper isn't super adhesive, but yeah, let's see. So do I want to put the label in the direction of the bag or in the direction of the clip? I think in the clip direction will be the best thing. Yeah, like this. I'm not super happy with this solution, but I think it is better than nothing. Or should I put it on the back side of the bag? All the decisions. I think I'm just gonna go with the front side like this. The problem is that I can't really see them through the bags now when picking the order, but I could just store them like this in the basket, and when I pack the order I can turn them with a sticker up. Well, I need to get this done. Enough talking. As I mentioned, I've opened up for pet portrait commissions, and these are some of the ones that I made back in November, December. These are digitally made in Procreate, and I've been experimenting a bit with my style. At the very beginning I wanted to do something a little more cartoony like this, but once I started doing the commissions I ended up doing a little more of a realistic style, but it is still kind of stylized, so it is more of a semi-realism, I suppose. So these are the ones that I'm working on right now, and this one I think is super fun. So one of my clients wanted their 4 cats in one portrait, but they didn't want the more realistic style. They wanted it more cartoony and simplified, like this kind of. So this is my first little sketch for that. It's super fun to be doing something a little different. So I've been thinking a little back and forth how I want to do with the branding and my information when it comes to the pencil cases. I would have preferred if the pencil cases came with a little label, like a little tag saying Katvalk or something, but unfortunately Vograce doesn't do that yet. Maybe I can suggest it, but I want to add my name and information on there somehow. And you might remember that I ordered these a little while ago, little tags or labels. So I was thinking that I can add my name and information and then just tie it onto the zipper, something like that maybe, and then just put it back in the bag again. Since this is kind of a bigger product, I really want my name to be on there. I just think it is a little more professional, and maybe people will save the tag, maybe, I don't know, but if they're giving them away as a gift, they will know where they came from. So I have been experimenting a little with this tag. So I got an idea, let's make a stamp. And so I did. I made a lino stamp, and I don't really know what I was thinking because carving letters is not easy. It did actually turn out way better than I thought. I do actually really like how this turned out, but I'm not sure if it is very time efficient. A little fidgety to center the stamp. I will still use the stamp though. I might use it for the shipping boxes. So it wasn't a waste making it, but I will not use it for the labels. So I got another idea. So after making the labels for the binder clips, I realized I can just print labels and stick them to these tags like so. Yeah, maybe this one is prettier, but this is a little easier to work with. So let's make some label tags for the pencil cases. Alright, we got all the little label tags ready. So this is what it will look like. And then back into the bag we go. Yeah. I am making some tea and just look at these cute little binder clips. Just realized that they have spelled berry with an A on berry blue. I think I'll go with a rhubarb and cream. So I showed you the digital pet portrait that I've been working on, but I've also got a commission for a traditionally made portrait, which I'm super excited about since I haven't done a traditional pet portrait in years. The only thing is that it is not a dog, not a cat, but it is a horse. You may not know this about me, but I never draw horses unless they are like cartoony or very stylized, but never realistic horses. I think I've done one horse portrait in like 10 years ago, but to be honest, it is actually a super cute horse. I mean, look at that, so fluffy, so it will be very interesting. Now, I am a little intimidated, to be honest, but it is for a friend of mine, so that makes it a little less scary, but still I want to make a good portrait. So I've been thinking a little about what kind of medium I want to use, and back in the days when I used to do a lot of pet portrait commissions, I used acrylic paint on canvas. That is not really what I want to use, so I think I want to do something more like this, and this you might recognize from a video a few years ago. It is of my dear Charlie. She isn't with us anymore, so it is a very dear portrait to me. But this is made in dry pastels, pan pastels, and color pencils. And I really like the style of this. So I wasn't really sure what kind of paper that I want to use. When working with pastels and color pencils, I like the paper to be a little smoother, because if there is a lot of textures and bumps, it is harder to draw all the little details, and you will get all of these little white dots that is hard to color in. This is drawn on very smooth paper, but it is drawn on the backside of actual watercolor paper that I'm using, so I don't want to waste that. So I did actually ask a fellow pet portrait colleague what kind of paper they were using, because they are also using pastel and color pencils, and they recommended hot pressed watercolor paper, because hot pressed paper is much smoother without any texture compared to cold pressed paper. And I don't really have a lot of hot pressed watercolor paper at home, since I prefer using cold pressed paper because I like the texture when working with watercolors. But I did actually find this. Used this for watercolor illustration a little while ago. This paper is super smooth, but it still got just the tiniest bit of texture, which is great so that the pastel pigments got something to grip onto. As you can see, I did a little bit of testing using some pan pastels, some regular dry pastel pencils, and color pencils, and it does actually look really good. So I think this would work great. The only problem is that the format, it is very long. I can cut it and make it a little shorter, but I still want something that is a little bigger. So I got this one that is way bigger than I thought it would be. It is actually double the size of the other paper, but I like this format a little better. It is a little more squarish, so I haven't actually looked at the paper yet, so maybe I should check it out. So this is also hot pressed watercolor paper, and it's supposed to have like a satin-like texture. Wow, this is very smooth, maybe a little too smooth. There is no texture at all. This paper almost feels rough compared to this one. Alright, so I've done a little bit of testing comparing the different papers. So on this side we got the new one and this is the old. When just giving it a quick look, you can't really see any difference. The colors looks very rich and nice. And here you can also see the difference in texture. Looking closely, you can see that on this side, on the smooth paper, the colors aren't as rich and deep as on more textured paper. Also, when there's no texture, you can't really layer the colors as many times because you're saturating the fibers of the paper almost immediately when adding colors to it. So yeah, that are my thoughts, and my conclusion is that I will probably not use this for dry pastels and color pencils, but it's not a waste. I can still use it for watercolors, which I'm super curious to try out on this paper. So I thought I was done with all the store prep, but then I realized that I haven't made a freebie sticker design, but luckily I had this little paw design, which is super cute, so this would be the freebie sticker for this time. Also, you know the stamp that I showed you earlier, the one that I was supposed to use for the labels for the pencil cases? I used it for the boxes instead, and look how pretty. It may take a little time to stamp all the boxes, but I think it is definitely worth it. So here we have a bunch of orders packaged and done. I did actually have my husband helping me. He picked all the products for the orders and I could package them, so it went very smoothly. It is very nice having someone helping you, so I didn't film when packing them, but I want to say a big thank you to all of you that have ordered something from my shop. I super appreciate it. Delivery. So I got something that I've ordered. So the search for portrait paper continues, and hopefully it will end with this one. I caved in and ordered the paper that I was initially recommended, the Arches hot pressed watercolor paper. This one is a little more expensive, so I was trying to find some other less expensive alternatives without any luck so far. So in conclusion, I paid more money to try out another type of paper than if I would just go with this from the beginnings. But also the reason why I wanted to try this paper is that the format is a little bigger compared to this one, but it is still a decent size to work with. It is still bigger than the first one I got, so let's have a look. It is a very smooth paper, but I can still feel that there is a little bit of tooth to it. It feels like it is something in between the first one and the second one that I got, so third time's the charm, I assume. So I'm very curious to try this out with pastels and color pencils, and hopefully we got a winner. Then we got the next thing. So something that I've been really wanting to do lately is to paint. I've just been wanting to do these big acrylic paintings with a lot of colors, and yes, I do have a lot of acrylic paint already, but I've really been wanting to try the heavy body acrylic paints, which is much thicker than regular acrylic paint, and you can layer it and get this really nice texture. So I have tried heavy body acrylic paints before. I got it in one of the art supply subscription boxes. To be honest, I didn't really like it very much then, mainly because I think I tried to use it as regular acrylic paint, the one that I'm used to. I don't know, I just just want to play around with color and shape and texture. Not really abstract art, but somewhere in between. So these are the ones that I had from before, and I also had these smaller tubes with the primary colors, which are the ones that I got from the Art Supply subscription box. So since I already had these from Liquitex, I was going to get some more, but they were kind of pricey depending on which color you wanted. So then I found the ones from Daler Rowney instead that were much cheaper and also on sale. So it didn't turn out that pricey, which is good since I'm not really sure if I will like this or not. So I wasn't really sure what colors that I wanted, because basically with acrylic paint you can mix any color that you like, but it is nice to have some base colors to work from. So I got the primary, some greens, browns, black, blue, and I already had this white from before, so I think that will be good. I also got a new set of paintbrushes, which I'm not planning to use with the acrylic paints. Well, maybe the bigger one, but the main reason why I got this set is because I wanted the smallest brushes to use when painting my pins and magnets, because I need something very small for the finest details, and also a big bottle of the white matte acrylic paint that I use for the pins and magnets as well. I like using the matte acrylic because I'm combining it with Posca pens, and Posca pens when painted on top of glossy acrylic paint tend to crackleate a bit. That's why I prefer using matte acrylic together with the Posca pens. So yeah, that is my little Art Supply haul. It is springtime-ish, which means the cats are shedding like crazy. Look at this little kitty, such a big boy. If you're thinking of getting a British short hair, just keep in mind that there will be a lot of fur. So much fur. This is actually a comb made for dogs, but the British short hair fur is so thick, so I can't really use anything smaller because it would just get tangled and stuck in the fur. Today's harvest. That is all from you, kitty. Usually I would take the fur and hang it out in the tree on the front side for the birds when they're nesting, but I think it might be a little too early for that though, since it is still January, almost February, so might have to wait a couple of weeks for that. Alright, I've done even more testing on the paper, and this is the last one, I promise, so I'm not gonna bore you with all the details again, but I've done some swatching on the Arches paper, and the color pencils still look a little desaturated compared to the very first paper that I got. But I actually found out that the backside of the Arches paper is actually slightly more textured than the front side. Here you can see the front side, if it even shows up on camera, but this is the back side, and maybe I'm just making it up, but it feels like the color pencils look a little more saturated on the back side than on the front side. So when I want a bigger portrait, I'm just gonna go with the Arches paper, and if I want to do something smaller, I can just go with the first paper. The Hahnemühle one I will just use for watercolors. I just cannot buy more papers. I think this will be good. I couldn't find my tripod. It is probably here somewhere in this mess. So here we are, me on the floor, you on some boxes. But I just want to do a quick little outro. I know that most of my vlogs are very store preppy, but I do have some other ideas for future vlogs though, so hopefully you will like that. But if you have any ideas or suggestions what you would like to see in my studio vlogs, please let me know. Yeah, that is all for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Keep drawing, my happy cats. Bye!